Hey math fans! In Lesson 62, we are explaining step by step the two concepts of divergence and curl of vector fields. These concepts are fundamental mathematical tools used in magnetism, fluid flow, thermodynamics, aerodynamics, mechanics, and aerospace engineering. To understand these two concepts, consider this practical problem. Let F be the velocity vector field of a fluid flowing across a flat surface, given by capital F of x, y equals the vector field angle bracket x squared minus y, 2xy, closing angle bracket. First, determine what is happening to the fluid at the specific point P, 2, 3. Second, identify where the fluid behaves completely incompressibly. Now, what is happening? Well, to solve this problem and determine what is happening to the fluid at the point P, 2, 3, we rewrite the vector field F, given by f of x, y equals the vector field x squared minus y, 2xy. At this first stage, many students ask where to begin. Before solving, it is helpful to recall the formula for divergence. For a vector field, capital F, with components f sub 1 and f sub 2, the divergence of f equals the partial derivative of f sub 1 with respect to x plus the partial derivative of f sub 2 with respect to y. Symbolically, it is represented as the dot product between the del or nabla operator and the vector field capital F. Good! In our case, the vector field capital F is given by f of x, y equals the vector field x squared minus y, 2xy, which equals the vector field f sub 1, f sub 2, where f sub 1 of x and y equals x squared minus y, and f sub 2 of x and y equals 2xy. Now, let's determine the partial derivatives for our components f sub 1 and f sub 2. For f sub 1, the partial derivative with respect to x gives 2x. Likewise, for f sub 2, the partial derivative with respect to y also gives 2x. Now, by substituting these back into our previous formula, the divergence of the vector field capital F equals 2x plus 2x, which is 4x. So, the divergence of the vector field capital F of x and y equals 4x. Now, to find what is happening to the fluid at the point P, 2, 3. Substitute x equals 2 and y equals 3 into the divergence formula. The divergence of the vector field capital F of x and y equals 4x. This yields the divergence of the vector field capital F at the point P, 2, 3 equals 4 times 2, which is 8. Now, what is the physical interpretation of this result? Well, since the divergence of the vector field capital F at the point P, 2, 3 equals 8, which is strictly positive, this means that the point P, 2, 3 acts as a source. Moreover, the fluid is expanding, or flowing outward from this point. What comes next? We need to determine where the fluid is completely incompressible. To do this, let's recall a basic condition. If the divergence of the vector field capital F, also expressed as del or nabla dot capital F, equals 0, then the fluid is incompressible. Now, let's apply this. A fluid behaves completely incompressibly where its divergence must equal 0. By setting the divergence expression, 4x, equal to 0, it is found that x must equal 0. Therefore, The fluid is completely incompressible at all points where x equals 0, namely, at all points along the entire y-axis. Note, if the divergence of the vector field capital F is less than 0, then the point acts as a sink and fluid is accumulating or compressing. Well, now let's look at problem 2, where we determine the curl, or rotational behavior of a three-dimensional vector field. To do this, let the vector field of a fluid flow be capital F of x, y, z equals negative y squared plus x, x plus y, z squared plus x minus y. Determine if the fluid is spinning at the point P, 2, 3, 4. Good! To solve this second problem, first the vector field of this fluid flow can be rewritten as capital F of x, y, z equals negative y squared plus x, x plus y, z squared plus x minus y, which can also be expressed as the vector field angle bracket f sub 1, f sub 2, f sub 3, angle bracket, where f sub 1 equals negative y squared plus x, f sub 2 equals x plus y, and f sub 3 equals z squared plus x minus y. For a 3D vector field, first, we write capital F equals capital F of x, y, z, which equals the vector field angle bracket f sub 1, f sub 2, f sub 3, closing angle bracket. Since the curl of f is also defined by nabla cross f, to find the curl of this vector field, we write on the top the three unit vectors, I, j, k, in the first row. After this, we place in the second row the components of nabla operator, partial derivative with respect to x, partial derivative with respect to y, partial derivative with respect to z. As for the third row, we write the components f sub 1, f sub 2, f sub 3. Now, to find all components of this curl vector field, we adopt this technique. We hide the first row and the first column of the determinant. We take the partial derivative of f sub 3 with respect to y minus the partial derivative of f sub 2 with respect to z. This difference is in the direction of the unit vector I, as shown on the slide. Next, we hide the first row and the second column of the determinant. We take the partial derivative of f sub 3 with respect to x, minus the partial derivative of f sub 1 with respect to z. This difference is in the direction of the unit vector j, but remember, we must multiply this whole term by minus 1 to get the partial derivative of f sub 1 with respect to z minus the partial derivative of f sub 3 with respect to x. Likewise, we hide the first row and the third column of the determinant. We take the partial derivative of f sub 2 with respect to x minus the partial derivative of f sub 1 with respect to y. This difference is in the direction of the unit vector k. What comes next? Now we compute the partial derivatives for each component. We recall that f sub 1 equals negative y squared plus x, f sub 2 is defined by x plus y, and f sub 3 equals z squared plus x minus y. For the I component, the partial of f sub 3 with respect to y is negative 1, and the partial of f sub 2 with respect to z is 0. So the first component of curl f is negative 1. For the j component, differentiating with respect to z gives 0, minus the partial with respect to x, which is 1. This yields the second component equal to negative 1. For the k component, the partial of f sub 2 with respect to x is 1, minus the partial of f sub 1 with respect to y, which is negative 2y. 1 minus negative 2y gives us the third component, 2y plus 1. So, the curl of the vector field f of x, comma, y, comma, z equals angle bracket negative 1, comma, negative 1, comma, 2y plus 1, closing angle bracket. Well, now we evaluate the curl of the vector field f of x, comma, y, comma, z at the point P, 2, 3, 4. By substituting y equals 3 into our curl of f expression, we get negative 1, and 2 times 3 plus 1, which equals 7. Our final curl of the vector field f at point P is angle bracket negative 1, comma, negative 1, comma, 7, closing angle bracket. Before giving the physical interpretation of this result, it is worth recalling some basics on how to read the direction of the 3D curl of vector field f. If the z component of curl f is positive, then the fluid rotates counterclockwise around the vertical axis. If the z component of curl f is negative, then the fluid rotates clockwise around the vertical axis. And finally, if curl f equals angle bracket 0, comma, 0, comma, 0, closing angle bracket, then the fluid does not rotate at all, namely, it is irrotational. Returning to our problem case, the curl of the vector field f at point P with coordinates 2, 3, and 4 is the vector angle bracket negative 1, comma, negative 1, comma, 7, closing angle bracket. Physically, because this curl vector is not 0, the fluid is spinning at point P. Furthermore, the rotation of the fluid is strongest about an axis closely aligned with the vertical z-axis, as indicated by its z component value of 7. Good. Now, are you ready to sharpen your skills? To consolidate the methodology we covered in Lesson 62, let us proceed to the homework assignment. Here is first problem. Let capital F be the velocity vector field of a fluid flowing in 3D space, given by capital F of x, comma, y, comma, z equals the vector field, angle bracket, negative x squared, comma, 2xy, comma, negative z squared, closing angle bracket. First, determine the divergence of this vector field, then find what is happening to the fluid at the point P, 2, 3, 1. Does this point act as a sink? Now, here is our second homework assignment. Let capital G be the velocity vector field of a fluid flowing in 3D space, given by capital G of x, comma, y, comma, z equals the vector field, angle bracket, negative y cubed, comma, x cubed, comma, z squared, closing angle bracket. First, find the curl of capital G. Second, evaluate this curl at the specific point P, 1, 2, 5. And then, determine what is happening to the fluid at this point P. Well, I hope you enjoyed this step-by-step solution. Keep practicing. Share this lesson with your friends. If this lesson was helpful, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe to Math Olympiad Academy for more advanced problem solving. See you in the next lesson.